Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at some of the small caps that were in play on Friday. So first up, let's take a look at OGEN. Okay, so yeah, this stock made a very nice move on Friday, closed up 58%. Notice our RSI is now above 70 at 72. It needs to stay above that level. Our Fasto's getting pretty frothy there at almost 98. It was a really bullish close above the 100-day simple moving average. That's the gold line here at 92. That was the big level to break. That level tried to break on the 24th. It opened above that level, but it closed below, and then it pulled back on the 25th. It worked its way back up to that level, and then now the close above on Friday is signaling more upside potential. Notice the upper wick on Friday's candle almost hit that red line. The gap is still unfilled. It's only another penny will fill the gap, but once that gap fills, that sometimes can be a climax event, so keep that in mind. It's going to need to break above the top of the gap. If it can break above that level, the 200-day simple moving average at 145 will be the next target. If it stalls out here at top of gap resistance and it pulls back, what you want to see is that 100-day simple moving average turn into support. Okay, let's look at ticker symbol CRMD. Huge move on Friday, closed up 31%. Now take a look at RSI here at 83. It's hitting frothy levels. You know, it topped out at this level in the past, and then it had a break up above to 90, but it's hitting that zone here where it's going to take a breather soon, so keep that in mind. Same thing with Fasto here at 87. You have plus DI on 80X now, getting at very frothy levels. Back here on the run back in October, it took a breather after hitting this level on both plus DI and RSI, where it's currently at. And so just keep that in mind. It can keep pushing higher, but it's getting a little ahead of itself, it looks like, with the push above the upper Bollinger Band. Okay, there was a big close above the upper Bollinger Band, which is down here at right around, 82.5. And so right just below that's EMA4 at 815. Now, this is a harder chart to see. I wanted to show you some past resistance levels. But as you can see, it's on a multi-day run. You can see all these candles are riding that pink line higher. As long as it keeps riding that pink line, the signal is just keep riding the swing trade. Now, if it were to drop below, that could signal consolidation. Once a candle does get well above the upper Bollinger Band, many times candles will work back into the band, so keep that in mind. Now the break over here above the October high close from 2017, that's this red line right here, the break above that level on Friday does signal more upside potential. On a pullback, what you want to see is 75 hold. You want to see it stay above 75. If it dropped below that level, it could consolidate. It needs to turn that level into support to keep pushing higher. Now take a look at CRMD on the weekly chart. So now it's above 70 on RSI. It needs to stay above that level. You have Fasto at 92, plus DI is pushing up here where it's pulled back in the past. It has a very nice weekly chart going right now. Really good uptrend. It started in June, pulled back, and then once it held in July, a very steady uptrend has happened here. It got above the 50-week moving average, the green line, and that held back on the pullback in August. And so right now, this last week, it closed above the 100-week moving average. That's currently at 77. So that's the big level to hold. As long as it's holding the EMA4 here at 75 and staying above that 100-week moving average, it should signal more upside potential. If the candles do pull back and work into the bands, those are the levels to hold. Now, on a pullback, you want to see it just like here, like the 50-week moving average, hold that level and close above for the week. If it were to close below for the week, that's where it could consolidate. Now, above, there's this, the next resistance level is going to be from back here in April, and so you have this 115 to 120 resistance zone. So that's going to be the big level to break above. Okay, let's take a look at AMRN. All right, so yeah, this has been a huge move. Multi-day runner. They're pushing it really hard. Check out RSI up here with 96. It's just flatlined at extreme overbought levels. Fasto at 99. Plus DI has already been pulling back, but as you can see, it's pushing higher as the candles work into the bands to the upside. There was the big gap up open, and they've just been walking it higher. Okay, so it's riding above EMA4 before, drop below 1376 and it could consolidate, possibly come down to 11, test that EMA 8 level. It is pushing above that upper Bollinger Band right now. Look at all the green volume bars in a row. When a stock's pushing like this, you need to go out into a further time frame to find resistance. And so we're going to take a look at the monthly chart here. And so having a monthly chart with the RSI at 87, that is an extremely frothy overbought level. As you can see back here, the last time it got in this level was back in 2011, and that's where it hit the high up here with the high close at 19 and hit $20, and that's where it topped out and pulled back, and it's currently above that level now. So keep that in mind. I mean, historically speaking, this is an extremely overbought level for the stock, and at some point here in the near future, it should take a breather. You have Fasto at 99.5. You have plus DI, the green line here, just parabolic. Look at that big parabolic move because of the giant white candle. It was a huge move last week, or last month. I mean, this is the monthly candle for the entire month, and it started the month down here at the middle Bollinger Band and ended up closing above the 200-month moving average, the red line at 1247. So that's the key level to really turn into support now that it closed above. Want to stay above that 200-month moving average. It closed above the high close from 2012. That's this red line right here. You want to see it stay above this 1450 level. You know, 1450, 15 is that level holds, that would be bullish. Now it also closed just above the first week of April 2011. That's this line right here. And so you want to see it stay above 16. If you're a bull, the next resistance level is the second week of April. That's at 19. Okay, so that's the going back to 2008. That's the highest close. And so yeah, it's going to need to break above 19. If it comes up here and hits this 19 to 20 level and stalls out, that could signal a temporary top. Okay, let's look at ZN here. This will be the final stock in this video. Closed up 23% on Friday. The chart is heating up here. You have RSI now above 30. If it can break above 50, that would be a signal the bulls are taking control. You have Fasto now heating up above 50 in the bull zone. Check out the bullish crossover starting on ADX. If you're a bull, you want to see that green line cross over the red line. That's a signal the bulls are taking, starting to take charge. If you look back here when the chart really broke down, the red line crossed over the green line, and that signaled that downside risk. And you can see here it gapped down right when that happened, and that was the start of the downtrend. And so now we have the opposite of that. The green line's crossing over the red line at the bottom of the chart. And so that's and notice the other thing to notice is when this had the bearish crossover, notice that's when the dotted purple line support level broke. That's the middle Bollinger Band, the 20-day simple moving average. That closed below there in the bearish crossover. That signaled the start of a new downtrend. And so now, for the very first time since this downtrend started, there was a close above the middle Bollinger Band on Friday, and there was the start of a bullish crossover in ADX for the very first time since this downtrend started. So this is a bullish change in trend. It caught our eye, so keep an eye on it. It needs to stay above the middle Bollinger Band at 123 to get a new uptrend going. If it dropped back below, that would signal consolidation. Needs to stay above EMA's 4 and 8 down here. Drop below 108, that would definitely be a sell signal. It's very, very risky to hold below EMA's 4 and 8 as this chart shows. If it can turn that middle Bollinger Band into support, it could possibly work its way up to 180 to test this upper Bollinger Band. Just above at 198 is the 50-day simple moving average, and then you have the high close that's lining up here in this 180 zone from the previous bounce. Keep an eye on this gap. There's a gap between high of day on this candle and low of day on this candle. So you might get some gap testing, gap fill type action if the middle Bollinger Band turns into support. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but the chart is heating up. There was a bullish volume spike on Friday. You had a PSAR bull flip. Notice the green dots here were above the candles while the stock was heading lower, and then they flip below, signaling the possible start of a new uptrend. And then you have recent bullish crossovers on MACD. All right, and then, oh yeah, let's look at the 15-minute chart. So it has a good uptrend going. It's testing the middle Bollinger Band. It needs to hold that level at 128. If that were to break, it could come down and test that 50 simple moving average at 112. Has to hold that level for the bulls to be in control, but really it needs to stay above that middle Bollinger Band. To the upside, a break above 137 should signal more upside potential. Okay, thanks for viewing this video. Good luck next week, everybody. Please come check out the chat if you'd like to learn more about technical analysis. Okay, thank you.